Welcome back everyone. Today we are learning Flexbox in Tailwind CSS, how to position items, center things, align layout and control direction using very simple classes. Let's break everything down from the first line all the way to the last line. You can see that in the body we give the whole page a light gray background using the BG gray 100 and P then create the padding around everything so our page is not squeezed. So we give our header the text for Excel to increase the font size, font bold for the font width, text center to center the text purple 600 to give the text a color, MB8 for a margin button. Okay then, so before we start our styling, we're going to run our code so that we can see it in the browser. So we run the terminal and we write the npm run dev for our code to show in our browser. Great, so this is our Tailwind working. So we split our screen to look at everything we're doing side by side. So for the basic flex container, we'll give it a P6 for the padding, BG white for the background color, shadow MD for a small shadow beneath it, the rounded LG for rounded corners, and MB8 for the margin button. So we'll give it a header and give it a text to Excel to increase the font size, font semi-bold for the font width, MB4 for the margin button, text gray 800 for a darker gray color. So we'll create a container and give some styling. So Flex turns this box into a flex container. Inside, every child becomes a flex item. Gap for add space between the boxes. BG blue 100 gives a light purple background. P4 adds padding inside. Rounded curves the corner. Each box has BG purple 500 for color, text white, P4 for padding and rounded corners. We're going to be creating another container for the justify content. So same structure, we're going to be giving this justify content and same style for the header as well. So the justify content controls horizontal alignment. So we're going to be enabling our flex, then justify start for the item to remain on the left. We'll give it a gap of 4, we'll give it a background color of blue, give it a padding, give it rounded corners and margin bottom. So look at the children. You can see that the children are at the left side of our container, which means it is aligned horizontally to the left. Great. So let's go to the next container. So same thing here, we're enabling our flex and we'll give it a justify content center. So this item moves to the center horizontally. We'll give it a gap of 4, background color of blue, give it some padding, rounded corner and some margin bottom. So then we need to grab the children so that we can see our styles. So look at the children, we just give them some background color of blue, give them some white text, give them some paddings and give them some rounded corner. So you can see that the children are aligned at the center horizontally. So this is going to be another container that will give us the flex justify the justify end. So the justify end moves the item to the right. We'll give it some gap, give it some background color, give it some padding, some rounded corner, and we're going to give it some margin bottom. Then let's hold the children so we can see the styles. Alright, so these are the children that will give us the background color of blue, give them the text of white, give them some padding and give them some rounded corners. So you can notice that they are at the end because we align them horizontally to the end. Alright, so another container with the flex and justify between. So this item spreads out with space between them and we give them background color, padding, rounded corner and margin bottom. So let's start with the children. So we're going to write down 2 divs and write the between. And here you go, you can see that they are already, we spread them out already. So now we're just going to give them some background color, give them some text of white, give them some padding, give them some rounded corners so we can see them very clear. So this is how it works. So now let's go to the next container, which is going to be the justify around. So we give the flex justify around. This gives equal space around each item. We give it a background color, some padding, some rounded corners and some margin bottom. Then we style the children to see the effectiveness of this style. Now look at the space around, this is how it looks. So we're just going to give the children some background color of blue, give them some text of white, give them some padding, give them some rounded corners. So this is it. This is how it looks. We are in another part which is called the align item. So the align item controls our styling vertically. So we'll give the container a padding of 6, give it background color, give it shadow beneath it, give it some rounded corners, give it some margin bottom as well. So for the header, we give the same style as well. Just increase the font size, increase the font weight, give it some margin bottom, give the text some gray color. So as I said earlier, the align item just control our styling vertically. Now we just give the container a flex item start so that the items move to the top of the container. We give it some gap, give it some background color, give it some padding of 4, give it some rounded corners, and give it height and a margin bottom. Now we're going to be writing the children so we can see the effectiveness of the style. Now we'll just write a normal div and give it a keyword of start, and then we're going to just give some simple styling here, like we'll give a background color, give the text of white, give some padding, and we're going to be giving some rounded corners as well, so you can see where this start is. Now let's go to the next example. Here we give the flex item center, so the item moves to the middle now, and we give some gap, give some background color, give some padding, give some rounded corners, and then we should give height as well. We should give the height and give some margin bottom. Now next thing to do is to style these children as usual. Alright, so we're going to be writing 2 divs, and then we're just going to write the center in between them. So we just write the children and give them a normal style. We are going to give it a background color of green. We are going to give it the text of white, give it some padding and some rounded corner. So this is it. It is centered vertically. Now let's go to the next example, which is going to be the align end. Alright, so the item end is going to take our children to the bottom part of the container. Alright, so let's just see how it's going to look like. So we give some gap, give some background color, give some padding, give rounded corner, give height. Alright, now let's go right into the children. So we're going to be creating 2 children and write end in them. And now we're going to be giving it the usual style, right? We're going to give it a background color, give it the text of white, give it the padding, and give it some rounded corner, so you can see that it is at the bottom. So great. So our align item helps us to align our item vertically. Okay, so we are creating another container for the flex direction. So just the same way we've been creating all our containers. So this is the same way we're going to be doing this. So we're going to be giving it headers to write the flex direction here, and still we're going to be applying the same styles that we applied to our other headers as well. So just increase the size, give it a font width, margin bottom, give the text a color actually. Now let's get right into it. Now we're going to be creating a container for this our flex direction. Alright, so we're going to be giving it a class of flex. We're going to give it the flex row. So this flex row it is default. Alright, so the item go from left to the right. Alright, now we're going to give it a background color of yellow, give it some padding, we'll give it some rounded corners. After giving some rounded corner, we'll just give it some margin bottom, and then let's go right into the children. Now we're going to be creating 3 children. So we have row 1, and we have row 2, and then we have row 3. So we're just going to give them the same style here. Right, so you can see that they are in the same row. We just give them a background color of yellow, of a thicker yellow. We'll give them a text of white. We'll give it some padding and some rounded corners. So this is how the flex direction row it is. Right, now let's go to the next part, which is the colon. Alright, so we're going to be creating a container. We'll give what flex, then we give flex-col. So this flips the direction. Alright, items go from top to the bottom. That's how it's going to be looking like now. So we're just going to be giving some gap, give some background color. We're going to be giving some padding, give some rounded corners and some margin bottom. Okay, then let's get right into the children. So we're going to be creating 3 children as well. So we're going to be writing the styles directly first. So we do the same style. We're going to give some background color, give some text, white text, give some padding and some rounded corners. So this is how it looks like: column 1, column 2, and column 3. So here we'll go with another container. We're just going to give the same structure and the same style for this container, and we're going to give the header as well. So this header is going to have the same style as well as other headers, right? So we're just going to be, we're going to be increasing the font size. After increasing the font size, we're going to be increasing the font width, giving it some margin bottom, all right, and giving it a color. So after then, let's get right into another container. This is the most important Flexbox concept. Justify center, centers horizontally, and item center, centers vertically. Put them together, they give perfect positioning in the middle of the parent. So then we are just going to give some background color, and we'll need to give some height, some margin bottom, some rounded corners, and that's it. Alright, so our div is already centered, so let's just give the child some style, right? So we're just going to give it some background color. Give it some background color, give it a text of white, give it some padding. After giving some padding, we're just going to give it some rounded corners. Just a simple centered box with padding, both text and a background color. So today we learned the most important Tailwind classes for layout using Flexbox: flex, justify items, flex row and flex column, gap, perfect center. If you understand this, you can lay out anything in modern websites. Try creating your own layout, combining the horizontal navbar, a centered arrow section, a vertical sidebar. I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you. If this video was helpful, give us a like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.